Peace. It's Bronzebird here. Make sure you like and subscribe. So I'm doing this video because, I find this funny. I find it hilarious. My thing about it is it's just been the talk of the town for the last couple of weeks. I have not heard of this over the summer. Instead, I've heard about actual environmental problems that's been proceeding to affect the world and recently what's been happening since the Queen died and about how basically shit is going to hit the fan. But today I just wanted to make a transition into some topics that I find funny, some things that I just want to mock and I don't find interesting, but I decided to just give it a go because I always like to explore different topics about things that I see and I think is amazing. So let's just go along with it. So basically today's video is going to be about the soft girl era, this quote unquote soft girl type of thing that they're putting out in the atmosphere. That goes along with the whole entire conspiring about this whole entire pick me, but pick me's versus soft girl era is a difference. Soft girl era goes along with this idea about aesthetics and clothes and all this other stuff. Very reminiscent of like 2003 to about 2007, where like a lot of these girls wear these like I don't know what you call them. I'm not understand. I don't know girls' clothes like that. I'm a man, so I don't care. But usually the boyfriend jeans and those like weird ass sweaters that got that zip down, so they it shows the bra, show their titties. A lot of these girls got like A cups and B cups, so I don't understand what the fuck they showing. But that's here nor there. Um, nice little summer dresses. Those type of things. A lot of these designs, I seem like it's like early 2000s Y2K type of things. The glasses and then like those clunky ass boots, those clunky shoes and stuff like that they like to wear. There's a lot of this stuff, but then they want to incorporate colors like nice girly colors like pink, sky blue, all the light colors that's supposed to be attributed to femininity, right? So I saw that and I was like, one thing that's very funny about this, I mean, a lot of men going online giving their opinions on it. All I see is virtual signaling, in which the woman wants to say, hey, look, listen, I could be in my feminine frame. And especially when it comes to the so-called black woman, not understanding that her femininity is out the window. She wants to be able to combat against the strong black independent and the strong black and independent woman type of stilo. So I've seen a lot of that, but they wanted to also incorporate feminism into this whole idea, which I don't understand because I thought the whole entire point is you want to seem as, feminine as possible, but you wanted to remove the idea of feminism from it. Maybe I'm just very ignorant when it comes to certain things about the soft girl era, but doing this light research I didn't see, I mean, it's just another trend. To me, I mean, a lot of dudes should just be like, pass this up because it just doesn't mean anything, right? So I seen that. I was like, okay, cool. So I think the funny thing also in this soft girl era nonsense, right? So I saw that. I'm gonna share my screen so I can show y'all exactly what I was seeing. I was just like, this ain't really anything. You know what I'm saying? So you see this on your screen right now, the soft girl era, like all this stuff right here, man. Like what is all this? They say they get this inspiration from like Mean Girls and stuff like that. I don't really see a difference in anything. Like it's just like, okay, it's a little cute outfits and stuff like that, but it's supposed to be the attitude that matches. I actually seen a video of a so-called black woman sitting in a car having a discussion about the soft girl era. I mean, to honestly, my honest opinion, it don't mean shit. This is just what you get when this is the normal trend because the so-called black woman or women in general who talks about this soft girl era is looking to social media to be their new husbands because they know that there is not going to be any response backs for the kiddish things that they do. So that's the only thing I really take from this whole entire soft girl era crap. You understand? I think brothers should not even pay attention to this because this should just stay in your mind. This is just something that girls is doing on social media. It's just like when I had saw a while ago when the pandemic first started. They had that whole entire thing online called the Don't Rush Challenge. And with that Don't Rush Challenge, basically, it's just that you see the girl in her robe, the girl just in her nightwear and stuff like that. She's at home sitting comfortable. And then all of a sudden, once she puts her makeup brush in the screen or snaps a finger, she puts on her prettiest outfits and puts on her sexiest outfits and be like, yeah, I'm not rushing, but this is my best outfit I'm gonna put on. I mean, look, listen, this is the whole entire thing about social media, self gratification, a very narcissistic type of gratification they're putting out to the public. And then the thing that made it very ugly that I had witnessed, that I had seen. I was like, this is not cool for fellas to be doing. Fellas started doing the Don't Rush challenge. I was like, you brothers look a little, got a little sugar in your tank over there. You brothers want to go ahead and do the Don't Rush challenge. That shit is for women. It's not for men. Stop doing that nonsense. So I'm going to read a couple of articles, some that I had found that was really profound to me. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can read the rest. So, what is a soft black girl summer, and why I'm vowing to have one? So this is supposed to be off of like Hot Girl Summer. And I thought Hot Girl Summer was just basically a way of saying I could be a whore if I want to. You can't tell me what to do. Follow the hashtag Soft Girl Summer on Instagram, and you will be inundated with tens and thousands of ethereal posts emulating something of a Bridgerton tea party. From picnics in the meadow to bonnet adorned afros pursuing country estates to books read beneath cherry blossom trees to pastel midi dresses billowing behind a basketed bicycle. It's easy to lose yourself in this online fairy tale community, seemingly worlds apart from the consistently depressing news cycles and the worries brought on by the cost of living crisis. I'm unashamed to admit that a soft black girl summer is something I crave. And I'm just going to give like these 3 articles a read, and you can read the rest on your own. With cottagecore fashion trending worldwide, the vibe has shifted undoubtedly to pastels, pinks, countryside corsets, florals, and frills, and the likes of, I don't know who these people are and I don't care, have modeled this new era to perfection, emitting something out of a Renaissance painting or a scene from downtown Abbey. Soft black girl influences are taking up space in a landscape where whiteness has only been permitted to occupy our imagination. And that's one thing I don't understand. Like, what does that have to do with? And this is the problem with the psyche of the so-called black woman. She always wants to attribute this to having an argument with the so-called white woman. This is always something I see, because if it was about so-called the soft girl era, why attribute it to race? Why don't you just focus on the aesthetics? See, and the thing about it is they still try to attribute it to the so-called white woman, especially giving credence to that movie Mean Girls back in 2004 with you know who, and then all the girls that was in that the bitchy characters that was in Mean Girls. Okay, it was proving the relationship of women amongst themselves. They can never get along with each other. They always have to pick and fight and choose about something. They can't get along. There's always something that the Black Burn book they had in that film, but whatever. And whilst this trend is undoubtedly a palate cleanser for our timelines, these images, staged and purposeful, and not only pleasing for the eye. Over their TikTok videos, sound bites tell us, welcome to Black Woman Bare Minimum, a safe space where you can do the least and bet the most. Okay. Knowingly or not, this trend signifies an antithesis to the many stereotypical perceptions of misogynoir that defines Black women by adjectives such as strong and independent. We're emboldened in our suffering, yet taught we're less deserving of society, of safety, peace, and love. We're too pitied and saved, but also feared. More than just a soft aesthetic, this trend motivates us towards a soft lifestyle, one that focuses on relaxation, leisure pursuits, space to explore hobbies, unlocking our creativity, and spending time in and around nature. Well, I'm not understanding that whole entire rhetoric, but like I said, you can go ahead and look about this article for yourself. I'm just going to read this last article. Soft black girl summer encapsulate the Black feminist ethos of rest as resistance. I don't understand that. This tool of social justice and liberation, supported by the likes of Andre Lorde, a hard lesbian, and Bell Hooks, recognizes that we can't look after others if we're not looking after ourselves. It's not healthy to consistently be in fight mode, doing the most to serve our communities, fight our oppressors, and just barely keep our heads above water. As Black women, we navigate all the battles and barriers of everyday life with generational racial trauma on our shoulders. Deep rest as a form of radical self-care, not the kind of commodified self-care we find and packaged into face masks and spa days, is a direct rejection of capitalism that tells us we always need to be productive, and a white supremacy that makes that productivity so much harder and more painful to attain and maintain. Look, listen. I don't. There would never. Okay, well, you obviously know when it comes to so-called black man, there is never going to be any type of soft black boy summer. Because if that was the case, they would have to deal with. It would have to deal with the LGBTQ likes of the so-called black man. The straight black man does not have time to relax. He only relaxes when he attributes itself to productivity and being able to be on his own whims and be able to relax in the freedom he has as being a free man away from the 9 to 5, have his own business, and be in the pursuits in a place in a company where he's able to be himself, whether that be construction, writing, whatever fits with the so-called black man. But in this idea of talking about the soft girl era, especially hearing from the so-called black woman's perspective, she can't stop but to keep hearing all this stuff about she can't stop but to mention racism, about race, and about how she needs to feel more comfortable and be in her femininity because she's fighting out racism every day. See, that's the reason why when it comes to these media, they always give the so-called black woman a chance to spew out all this bullshit because she always wants to talk about race. It's always that. There's nothing else to talk about but race. You understand? So even reading me some of these articles right here on the Wikipedia, just give you a background. It says soft girl describes a youth subculture that emerged among teenagers around mid to late 2019. Never heard of this in 2019. Soft girl is a fashion style popular among some young women on social media based on deliberately cutesy feminine look. Being a soft girl also may involve a tender, sweet, and vulnerable personality. I'm not really sure about this, but this is also about catering towards Gen Z. This is not really for millennials and up. You understand that? So you can see all this in like, your local YouTube channels talking about soft girl era, soft girl life. And I don't frankly get it. All it is another trend to me and another way of sprucing up this conversation about how the black woman's or the black girl's voice needs to be heard. Well, more mainly women, and trying to mix this in with feminism, which is a contradiction. I don't know if Soft Girl Era is trying to get him a man. I don't know what it's trying to do, but at the end of the day, to dudes out there, don't take this seriously. This is just admiring this whole entire bullshit about trying to be soft and dainty, but incorporate feminism because feminism is supposed to be geared as hard when it comes to the woman. Don't pay attention to this shit. More videos coming soon. Peace.